AFC World Cup qualifying is in complete chaos. We had Indonesia get swept aside by the Japanese tsunami. We had Qatar beat Uzbekistan in a massive must-win game at home. And North Korea nearly beat 10-men Iran, which would have been one of the greatest upsets in World Cup qualifying history, and so much more. Welcome to my AFC Rapid Fire Reaction. This is going to be a new series where I'm going to breeze through every single game and group and give you guys my thoughts on everything in the most concise way that I possibly can. Now, this is not going to replace my in-depth analysis of every single group. Those are still happening, so remain calm. This is just going to be a new series that I'm going to try out. If you guys like it, then be sure to let me know in the comments. You could say something like, Jack, you're the GOAT, or Jack, I don't know how to repay you for all of this Asian content that you're dropping on YouTube. The Patreon is in the description of the video. You know, or you could just drop a couple heart emojis. Really, it's all the same to me. I just need to know that you guys like this so that I can do this for the remaining windows. And if you're new here, welcome to Deadball TV. Make sure you hit subscribe for all the new content dropping here on the channel covering AFC World Cup qualifying. Drop the video a like. Now let's get into it. Starting in Group A, we had both UAE and Qatar winning their matches, which means we have the juiciest game remaining of Group A next Tuesday when Qatar has to travel away to UAE and try to avenge their 3-1 defeat at home in match 1 of qualifying. Can the UAE do the double? Let me know in the comments. I'm not so sure about that, but I do think it's going to be an absolutely cracking game. Now, we saw another extremely hot and cold performance from Qatar where they completely annihilated and blitzed Uzbekistan in the first half and then fell off a cliff in the second half, and Lucas Mendez saves them in extra time. And that's exactly how the game went against the UAE. The only difference was that the UAE scored 3 goals and eventually won that game. So Qatar really need to remain more consistent as these games go on. Uzbekistan had their first defeat since September 2023. That was 14 months ago when they lost to the United States 3-0 in a friendly. Was this one a little unlucky? Sure, but like I said, Qatar absolutely killed them in the first half. So myself, I don't really feel like it was a robbery here. Now, some people will talk about the extra time. I'm not entertaining that on this channel. I mean, if you guys want to complain about that, you can. I thought it was a fair decision. There were several injuries. I'm going to move on because I really don't care, to be honest with you. Now Uzbekistan just has a 3-point lead on the UAE and Qatar, which means the Uzbeks will be hoping that my prediction for that game is correct and that the points will be split, because if UAE or Qatar wins and if Uzbekistan are held by North Korea in the next match, then all of a sudden that kind of vice grip that Uzbekistan looked like they had on automatic qualification to 2026 is in major jeopardy. And Shamordov's out, Shukurov's out. This is going to be a massive game now for Uzbekistan. Moving on to North Korea, they are the best bad team in international football. They are the best bad team in Asia. There is no other way to describe these guys. I'm not going to look into their 3-2 near comeback victory against Iran too much, because when Iran had 11 men, this was not a contest. They murdered North Korea. I mean, it was their most decisive defeat of qualifying. Iran were in cruise control. The red card makes things interesting, but North Korea still an incredibly long shot from doing anything in round 3. Iranians, they will not like the defensive mishaps that happened in this game, but I think as long as we're talking about Asian qualifying in matches against other Asian teams, I don't really think it's going to hurt them. Where it's going to hurt them is the World Cup, so they really need to fix that before the next tournament. Kyrgyzstan continues to be terrible away and okay in Bishkek. They are the first team in round 3 to lose 4 of the first opening 5 games. I don't really see a future for these guys. Maybe in round 4 they could do something, but the defense is just absolutely shambolic, and they are becoming home merchants, not to the level of Bolivia, but home merchants nonetheless. UAE, who I've been calling the bare minimum merchants under Paulo Bento, they didn't quite do the bare minimum. They did beat Kyrgyzstan 3-0, which was a great result for them. Harib Suhail did in fact play in this game, which is hilarious because when I looked at the team sheet, I didn't see him on there, so I guess I need to practice my Arabic more. He did get a brace in this game, and the UAE, kind of shockingly, now have the second best defensive record in all of Asia. They are allowing a goal on 7% of the opposition's chances through 5 games. The only team that has a better percentage is Japan, narrowly at 6%. So the defense continues to be the strong suit. Really not conceding great chances continues to be the strong suit for UAE. Moving on to Group B, we had Jordan and Iraq, and that was a draw, as I both predicted and feared. Now, was it another stinker in Basra for Iraq? Not quite a stinker, but it certainly wasn't good. If you look at chance creation for Iraq, They only have more chances created through 5 games than 4 teams in Asia. Are you guys ready for this? China, Indonesia, Bahrain, and Kuwait. Not good. Not good. Those are the only teams that Iraq has a better offense than. They continue to be the Ayman Hussein Ali Jassim show. And honestly, I'm getting tired of watching it. These guys need to figure it out quick. Jordan, on the other hand, did make it out of Basra alive, or at least partially alive. They didn't get the win. And the only thing consistent about Jordan is their inconsistency. Musa Al-Tamari, probably the worst game I've ever seen from him for Jordan. Al-Naimad was slightly better, and Ali Oluwan was just kind of there. I thought it was a pretty good showing defensively for them, but my biggest takeaway for Jordan in this game is no Al-Mardi, no party. I think he is the most underrated player and probably the most important player for Jordan when you look at chance creation. They'll probably go out and murder Kuwait in the next game because this team's so hot and cold, but we'll just have to wait and see. South Korea did surrender a golazo against Kuwait, but they still won decisively 3-1 in Kuwait City. Jun Ho-Bae looks like the truth. He's got 4 goal involvements in his first 5 appearances for the senior team, and Hwang In-beom continues his insane run of form in round 3 of qualifying. Now, Kuwait scored a great goal, didn't really do anything else. Crazy stat here. Kuwait, in terms of passing and possession, are 9th in round 3 amongst all 18 teams. So these guys actually pass the ball. They do control the game sometimes. They just do absolutely nothing with it because no team has created fewer chances through 5 games than Kuwait. 14 chances in 5 games. They are creating 3 chances per game on a good day. Absolutely insane. Kuwait's in big trouble if they don't get a result against Jordan. Oman versus Palestine. I said this match would decide which one of these teams was better. I said Oman would win 1-0, and I said that Palestine still won't be able to finish. And much like Klay Thompson with the Golden State Warriors pulling up for 3, I absolutely drained this one, so shout out to myself. Palestine, fun fact, have more chances created than their opponent in the last 3 games, and they have 2 losses, 1 draw, 1 point from those 3. So this team continues to be plagued by some of the worst finishing amongst any teams in Asia. Oman, are they turning into something formidable? I don't really think so, but this Iraq game is going to be fascinating now because if they get a draw or a win, Group B is blown wide open, baby. So a lot of things to watch there. Lastly, we have Group C. Japan did a controlled demolition of Indonesia 4-1. 19 goals scored through 5 games, 1 goal allowed, first in basically every single category that matters. We will learn absolutely nothing about Japan until the World Cup. I'm going to keep saying that. This is just still not much of a test for these guys. Shocker of a match from Ko Itakura. If there's one thing that I'm super concerned about, it is the center backs, and namely him for the Samurai Blue. Had a terrible game against Indonesia. Really lucky that Zion Suzuki bailed his ass out, quite frankly. Indonesia, on the other hand, did exactly what they should not have done against Japan, which was sit back and pray. It's never worked against Japan for the smaller teams. It's going to continue to never work. Please stop doing it. You have to press Japan if you want to win. If you let them have the ball, they're going to beat you, and they're probably going to beat you 4-5-7-0. Just look at Bahrain and China. Ask those guys how it worked out. Indonesia is now firmly in 6th place in the group, and they have Saudi Arabia at home next, and it's a must-win game. If they drop points, if they lose the game, they're done. They're probably not going to go to round 4 either. Now, Saudi Arabia and Australia are 2 Asian powerhouses who are competing to see who can put the highest percentage of their population to sleep via playing football. The game was absolutely trash. Both teams probably had 1 to 2 good chances. I would say Australia might have had the edge there. Saud Abdul Hamid, MVP, hands down for Saudi Arabia, in my opinion. And both teams will be sending a thank you card to the Chinese national team for beating Bahrain, because if Bahrain had won, then Saudi Arabia would be in 4th place right now, which is absolutely insane. Both teams have a lot to be desired offensively. I mean, they're completely dead. It's kind of embarrassing. Instead, we have China in 4th place after they beat Bahrain basically with the final ball of this match. The Yuning Zhang redemption arc is fully underway. I said this guy was the worst 9 at the Asian Cup. He no doubt is a subscriber to Deadball TV, and you should also be subscribed to Deadball TV, another reminder. And he's now got 2 goals in back-to-back games and back-to-back victories now for the Chinese national team. Absolutely insane. The Ming Dynasty is back, or maybe the Qing Dynasty is back. I'm pretty sure that's the dynasty that lasted like 60 years or something like that. I'm saying that this could be a momentary flash in the pan, or maybe the Chinese national team are actually legit. Either way, I'm here for it. Now they have a chance to do something respectable against Japan away. Bahrain, not only do they play the worst football in Asia, they now have 0 wins at home in this round of qualifying, and their black magic appears to be wearing off. In fact, you could say that China out-Bahrained Bahrain in this match, and as a man who believes in karma, I thought it was something beautiful to see. Now, Bahrain are good at being the underdog, and they're absolutely terrible at being the other team. 4 chances created in this match against China, which is by far the lowest that China have surrendered in a game in this round so far. For reference, 10 men Saudi Arabia created 9 chances, and Indonesia, playing away in China, also created 9 chances. Basically, what I'm saying is that Bahrain offensively are completely dead, and Group C is completely wide open. We're going into match day 6 with everything to play for except first place, which is completely locked up by Japan. So that's something that I love to see. I'm always here for the drama. And guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed this rapid fire reaction. This is the first go ahead, so I apologize if there's any kinks here that made the video kind of unenjoyable. Let me know if you enjoyed it down below in the comments. Again, drop some heart emojis or something. Give the video a like if you could, and let me know your biggest takeaway from match day 5 down below in the comments. And again, I'll be back here with way more videos covering Asian World Cup qualifying comprehensively after match day 6. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.